So how do you get your man to open up to you and start talking for real and openly in your relationship? We know that communication's one of the main foundations of a healthy relationship. But I'm gonna guess every time you open up and try to have a real deep conversation, it goes something like this. You start talking about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're going through, and your man sits there like a bump on the log with a dead fate look in his eye and gives you one word, two word answers, maybe if you're lucky. So how do we actually break through that and get him to open up a bit? How do we get him to start actually wanting to talk with you, to communicate with you, to tell you what he's feeling, what he's thinking, what he actually wants from the relationship? As guys, it's hard for us to do that. We kind of naturally and instinctually want to keep ourselves locked up. We want to keep our issues within our own head so that we don't make them your issues, so we don't burden or bother you with them. And getting us to break through that can be difficult because the first thing we start thinking about usually are the consequences of us coming out and saying what we're actually thinking. So one thing that I did in my marriage, that Sarah and I did, we implemented years ago. We started having once a month an hour where it would be just our communication hour. We're gonna sit down, it was a free and open area. Anything we wanted to discuss was on the table and we would leave it there. There wasn't gonna be any nagging or any bitching and moaning about why are you feeling like this. It was gonna be a place of understanding where each of us, me and her, could both come together. We could both start expressing ourselves. Sorry, I got maintenance people coming. But we could both start expressing ourselves, what we're truly thinking and feeling in our relationship, without fear of the other one just getting angry and upset, and instead using that as a moment of just pure honesty. We're gonna talk about some deep things. One of us may not like what the other one's got to say, but it's in the safety of our little 1 hour communication zone. And we know that at the end of the day, push comes to shove, we can't leave it there. If we get into a deep, hard issue and it's starting to turn into an argument or fight, we can say, all right, this is our communication area. We know that's an issue, we're gonna work on it. We can table it till next month, but we each take time to think about it and think about what we truly want, what we're truly feeling and want to say. Then we're gonna come back and actually start right where we left off and pick up on that again. And by doing this over the years, we started getting to where we stopped holding in things, or mainly I as a man stopped holding in things that I was thinking and feeling. And I started expressing them more. I started telling my wife, hey honey, not just in our little 1 hour experimental group session, but just within the everyday life, I started telling her, honey, I think, I feel, I want, I need, whatever it is. And those 4 key phrases, if you can just start coming at it from instead of the stance of, you're doing this wrong crap to me and it makes me feel like shit, so there, you're a bad guy. But if you can word it as, honey, when you do X, I feel Y. When you tell me you appreciate what I do in the home, that makes me feel happy and loved and appreciated. And it makes me want to respect and love you back. And it starts building those communication foundations up so that you can have a more open and a more free relationship. Honeys, I promise, start implementing this. Start asking your man, what do you think? How are you actually feeling? Let's talk about it. And let him know. This is gonna be a judgment-free zone. I wanna know what's actually going on in your head so that we can together get through some of those issues, or better yet, start taking those good things that are going through our heads, those feelings of love, those emotions that are good and that bond us to each other. You know, we can start talking about those and actually expanding on them to make our relationship even better than it already is. Communication is the foundation. It's the key to a happy and healthy relationship. Because if just one of you are holding back, if one of you is bottling up things that are starting to bother you, that's gonna lead to resentment in a hurry. And once you start down the road of resentment, every single little offense that partner of yours does is gonna start building onto it. Even if they don't know even that they're doing it, even if they don't know you're feeling that resentment, and it's gonna start creeping in. It's gonna start chiseling away at that foundation you built up in your relationship. And eventually, if those resentments aren't dealt with, it'll collapse your entire relationship. So So ladies, try asking your man, try implementing just a simple once a month kind of thing. Honey, we're gonna sit down for an hour here this Friday and we're gonna actually talk. I wanna know what's going on in your head. I want you to tell me the things that you think I don't wanna hear. And once he starts opening up, if he knows that you're not gonna be judging him on that you're not gonna be tearing him apart, but that you actually wanna understand so that you can both grow, he will start opening up to you. I promise you, he'll start opening up. You're gonna see that vulnerability come out that you've been wanting. You're gonna see a little bit of emotional intelligence as he starts to open up and to start expressing himself. And I promise you, your relationship will grow because of it. It'll grow deeper, it'll grow better, and it'll last longer and be healthier.